Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm joining with my friend Amy to try to help bring awareness about our disease, ataxia. It's very complicated, and I won't go into all the different types and all the different symptoms and all those specifics, but you can find a lot of information on the National Ataxia Foundation Facebook page or the National Ataxia Foundation website, which is simply ataxia.org. I'm 49 years old and I'm a single mother. At 38, I began having strange symptoms with difficulty walking and tremors and some vision problems. I went to quite a few neurologists, and most of them couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I had one tell me it was all in my head. That was in 2000. In 2003, I went to University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and they compared a couple of MRIs of mine a couple years apart, and they were able to diagnose me due to the atrophy or shrinking of my cerebellum, and the diagnosis was spinocerebellar ataxia. There are many types of this specific ataxia, and there are only a small group of them which you can identify through genetic blood testing. When I had my testing done, it came back showing that I have an abnormal ataxin gene mutation, but it's an unidentified type, one they have not identified yet. A lot of us in this group fall under that category, and part of the reason that there are many unidentified types is the fact that more research needs to be done. So we do a lot of different events to raise funding for education and research. But the biggest issue that is absent is awareness about ataxia. When we were doing our setting up for our annual walk this year, it amazed me the amount of people I spoke with that looked at me strangely and said, "Ataxia, what is that?" It is a rare neurological, degenerative, slowly progressive, hereditary illness. And it's so rare that apparently it is unknown. So our goal is to get the word around and spread awareness so that it is no longer unknown, and so that we can get the education and research funding we need to get effective treatments and to ultimately find a cure. I was a nurse and raising my daughter when I first showed symptoms, and very quickly lost independence, lost my driving ability, lost a lot of vision, walking, talking, speaking. Every aspect of my daily life has been affected. 11 years later, they've come a long way. When I was first diagnosed, I was alone. There were no support groups that I was aware of at the time, and I really didn't understand what was going on inside my body. At that time, even the professionals that were aware of the disease only thought that it affected the cerebellum. And now, 11 years later, there's proof that this illness affects the other parts of the brain, which are referred to as the gray and white matter. This means that it is no longer just a movement disorder, and it no longer just affects the cerebellum. And while it's affecting the other parts of the brain, that means that there are more and more symptoms that we experience and live with. This year, it began severely affecting my memory, especially the short-term memory. My swallowing has gotten more and more noticeably difficult. My speech has gotten more difficult and harder to understand. I have trouble sleeping. I'm moody. And there's many, many more symptoms. I like to stay positive as I can, and I like to encourage other people to stay positive, because this disease has no prejudice against gender, age, race. It affects everybody. And because I know that there are young children born with ataxia, some forms of ataxia, and there are young adults that experience it much younger than I did and have to live their entire life battling every day with the symptoms that we have. I feel that I'm very blessed and lucky to have been 38 before my symptoms began to affect my daily life. I appreciate you listening to me. I'm available on Facebook to speak with anybody or answer any questions that anyone may have. And I would be more than happy if Amy would like to send in more videos as time goes on. In the meantime, I encourage everyone else to submit your stories either by video or in writing, and for the group to stay strong and work together so that we can spread awareness of ataxia and find the cure that we need. We are also looking for a celebrity spokesperson who either has ataxia or knows someone who has it, because we know that the way things work in the media, we would get much more coverage if we had a celebrity spokesperson to sponsor us. So if there's anyone listening out there and you feel like you want to help, please contact us. There's a National Ataxia Foundation Facebook page, and you can reach any of us there at any time. Again, I thank you for listening. I hope that this was informative and helpful and not too boring. Thank you, and God bless.